Hi everyone, welcome to this week's video, and today we're going to be talking about personal development and why it's so important. So thank you so much for being here. My name is Su Patel and I am all about self-worth, helping people create more joy, more love, more abundance in their lives so that they can live their best life. So thank you for being here today. And let's talk about personal development. Why is it important? I started my journey of personal development when I was around 15, 16 years old, back in the day. I started my career with Tesco at the age of 16, and by the age of 18, I was already supervising and managing people. And I really wanted to learn, how I could be the best with people. And I started to read amazing books. And one of the first books that I read was How to Win Friends and Influence People. So that was my kind of catalyst into personal development. And it taught me so much about really connecting with people, getting into people's worlds, and really understanding and how to, really understanding people and how to make people feel important, to create fulfilling, beautiful relationships with them. And, that was really my first kind of book into personal development. And then I moved on to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which has been my Bible throughout my life, and all the habits have been so profound in my life, especially beginning with the end in mind. It's all around, putting yourself at the end of life and thinking, what kind of life do you want to create? It's such a great book because for me, every single day I think, okay, when I finish, when I go up to heaven, right? Or when I'm done with the world, what do I want to be remembered for? How do I want to be remembered? But it's not just that, I do this on a regular basis, right? I think about, okay, at the end of this project, or by the time we finish this contract or this project, what do I want people to say, that I contributed? What's my legacy going to be? And I'm constantly thinking about what is it that I want to leave people with? There's a really great saying that people will, remember, they won't remember what you did, what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel, right? So for me, it's really important that, that really has an impact on me, that, people feel amazing, they feel great, they feel lifted, they feel empowered, at every encounter that they have with me. So, I'm always constantly working on myself so that I can then create that with people. My personal development journey, kind of moved. I mean, I've always read books all throughout my, the last kind of 30 odd years. But it's not just books that can have an impact on your personal development. I've been listening to YouTube. I was made redundant in 2016, and I really spiraled down into low self-worth, into low, just in a really low place. I'd lost my job. I'd just separated from my husband. I'd, moved out of my home. I'm a single parent now. And I was just like, oh my God, really scared about where life was going to take me. And I started watching some YouTube videos of, Tony Robbins. And, it's not just Tony Robbins that's been a big influence on my career in the last 6 to 7 years. Tony Robbins, Wayne Dyer, Jim Rohn, Oprah Winfrey, listening to all these legends has really they say that your mind is like a garden, right? If you don't tend to it, you'll grow weeds, and all kind of crap's going to start developing in your brains or in your mind, right? And you start living and behaving in a certain way. But if you treat it like a garden and you really guard what goes into it, what gets planted into your garden of your mind, you start really listening to beautiful words, you start listening to good music, you start listening to good motivational talks or great songs even. It really has an impact on what goes on here because, it starts to reprogram your mind. Personal development is important because often we're just doing life on autopilot. We don't even know that that's a thing that we should be doing, but actually every single person should be working on their own personal development. And I've kind of, since reading books, the first layer for me was reading books and kind of watching YouTube videos, listening to podcasts, and then getting myself a coach was a game changer because I got more accountability and I really had somebody calling me out on my BS, on why are you doing those things and holding me to account. So it really was a game changer getting an accountability coach. And for me, what I've really learned as well is that, you know, the more I started investing in myself, the more I started to see better results for myself as well. You know, I went on to publish my book in 2018. You know, I've been invited to talks all over the world. And, you know, I'm living my best life now, you know, which is incredible. So, you know, you really get to start, you know, moving in the direction. And the more personal development that you do, the more you invest in yourself, the more connected you get to yourself, the more you stay in your own lane, the more you start focusing on what you want to create and start visualizing what you want to create, the more of that stuff is what shows up in your life, right? And also as well, you know, personal development isn't just about what you do on your own. It's also about who you surround yourself with. So I started to surround myself with incredible communities. You know, I did the Landmark Forum a few years ago, and I started to plug myself into all of their programs. And now many of my friends have also completed the Landmark Forum and many of their courses, so that, you know, we all speak the same language. And it's an incredible personal development program. If you haven't done it, go and check it out. It is really, really profound. But, you know, my daughter's even done it. You know, she did it when she was 13 years old. And it really does have an impact. You know, it teaches you around integrity, accountability, and really how to own your life. You know, that you are the source of your life. And I always say this in pretty much most of my videos is, you know, you are the source of your life. And the way that you can take accountability for and really make an impact in your life is by really owning that you are the source of your life. Like, everything gets created through you. You know, what works and what doesn't work is created through you. And it's only, you know, what you want to create in your life gets created through you taking ownership and through you really being aligned to who you are, you know, being grounded and aligned to who you are. So, you know, personal development is all about you getting reconnected to who you really are. You know, we spend all of our lives trying to, you know, fit in, trying to conform to other people's limiting beliefs, other people's ideas, their perceptions, you know, and actually the more we try to fit into what everybody else wants, the less we're actually fitting in. Because we're not being our true authentic self. So really take that on and start really working on what you want to create. You know, get a vision board done for yourself, or create some goals that you want to create for yourselves, and start thinking about who is it that you want to be. You know, life isn't about what you're doing day in, day out. It's actually about who you're being day in, day out. Because remember, you know, people remember you for how you made them feel, all right? And you can only make other people feel great when you're feeling great yourself, right? So take that on and, you know, really start creating your life how you want to live it. But it all comes through personal development. It's called personal development because it's your development, it's your mindset, it's your conditioning, it's your future. So, you know, really take some time. You know, I plan in 30 to 60 minutes a day working on my own development, because, you know, I am not going to compromise on my future and my goals and my life, right? Or my daughter's future. Like, who I am is what then I can create for my daughter as well, right? And our world. So I'm not going to compromise on that, right? And, you know, you should also not compromise on your future and what you want to create. So you know, you can spend 15 minutes a day to start off with, and start 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and start building that up however you want to create it. But definitely create a habit of working on your own development, and start small and, you know, build yourself up, whether it's books, podcasts, YouTube videos, getting a coach, plugging yourself into communities, speaking to the right people, and really taking those chances now and start pushing yourself forward, because what you put out there in the universe is what's going to come back to you. So the more you start creating yourself to be more authentic, you will then start creating the results that you actually want, rather than living life on everyone else's terms. So I hope you take that on and you got loads out of, you know, what I've shared with you today. Please do like and subscribe to the channel so that we can, you know, reach more people. And of course, if you want more value and more content, do connect with me on LinkedIn. The link is in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye.